theme here. I enhance women on the outside to ignite the inside. And today I have with me the fabulous Sonia Molina. She has just done a training session here at our beach retreat on living your dreams. So Sonia, how did you find out that you were or weren't living your dreams? Like, how'd you get involved in dream seeking?
Well, I kind of felt like, okay, I just didn't feel like I was moving the needle on where I wanted to be. I just felt like there was something more. And as in my training, my brother died suddenly. And it made me think about, like, if I were to die today, which he didn't expect, what did I fulfill all my dreams? Did I get to do everything that I wanted to do? And it was at that moment I realized there's no stopping. There's no average anymore. So that's what propelled me, and that was the catalyst. Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm first of all sorry about your brother.
Thank you.
But I'm also proud that you used his lesson to move forward, because so many people have a loss like that and then they live in that loss.
Right.
So since you've learned this lesson, and since your brother is pushing you from beyond, what shifted? What have you changed?
I live bolder now. I live without fear. I live with opportunity. And I live most importantly with intention. And so I don't guess. I know what I want to do. I know what I want, and I know how to get there, and I take action. So you can have a dream, but if you don't have action behind your dream, then it's never going to happen.
Absolutely. So, okay, so what is the craziest? Let's find out the scoop. What is the craziest action you've ever done?
Oh my goodness, let me think. I spoke on stage at the last minute at one of our conferences, and I was just like unprepared, but I knew I had to be prepared. And I think that everything, once you're put in a position in such a like a spontaneous manner, you just go for it, right? 100%. And it was just like so exciting. It was like, I'm scared, but I'm doing it anyway. And so that's what was the craziest thing for me. And it ended up being really, really good and very inspiring from what other people said. So.
And I do think that's a really good point, that sometimes we're asked to do stuff that sounds nuts, and you're like, why am I doing this? And where's the nearest bathroom? Because I want to go lock myself in. But now give us the hindsight. So now you did that. How's the memory now? Like, what does it seem like?
It was exhilarating, and to look back, and it's like, gosh, if you would have asked me that 5 years ago, I would have been like, no, pick somebody else. I can't do this, and now it's like, I can do this, and it's just different self-talk.
Put me in, coach.
Yeah, put me in, coach.
Yeah,
so it's just a mindset where it's like, instead of going, I can't, you say, how can I? And that just kind of work from that, how can I make it work? And then just trust yourself and trust the process. So.
Okay, and you were super smart because you got a mentor that taught you some ropes. What is your favorite thing that you learned about creating dreams? Like, what is the one best memory you have?
Well, my one thing that was, never dream too big, because you will work into that dream.
Right.
If you have the chance to dream small, then you're gonna stay small, or you can dream big. There's no difference. And so that was the biggest thing one of my mentors said. It's like, if you're gonna dream big. And that was the one thing I always took away from that.
And you know what happened at this retreat for me? Because every time you go, you're a different person, right?
Yeah.
And so I remember that my grandmother built a hospital. But when she was my age, my grandfather died of cancer. And so she was a widow at this age, not knowing where her future would be. And so she made a total shift. And they said, the only way you're getting out of grief is through service. So she started this course of service that now we have a hospital that she built. And
wow.
That's where I was like, yeah, where is the hospital I'm building?
Yeah.
Wait, I have legacy.
Yeah.
So.
And it's through those experiences that you finally see, oh my gosh, this was my purpose. Yeah. I had to go through that tragedy and that sadness, but what legacy did he help me prepare for and help me propel to achieve? So.
Now you look like you're full of confidence and have always had it together. Were you ever in doubt? Did you ever have self-doubt or question yourself?
Absolutely. It's normal. And I think that, when I grew up, I was a very shy little girl, and I grew up on the wrong side of the tracks, and I never fit in. And you know, I remember one time where I really wanted to fit in with this little group of girls, and they were like, hey, do you want to play with us at recess? And I said, absolutely. So they took me to the end of the playground, and they had me count to 10, and when I turned around, they all abandoned me.
Oh,
I know. And so I'm like, am I not worthy enough of these people? And so I, you know, that really shot me for a long time, and I brought that into my subconscious, and you know, being from my childhood. But what you realize is that, you know, the only person that can change is yourself. And so I started working on my mindset, and I started believing that I can be whoever I wanted to be. And that was the one thing that, you know, you can stay in that, or you can grow from that. And that's what I chose to do.
Okay, so we have a lot of newbies, maybe some beginners, working on my mindset. What does that mean? What is like maybe one step a newbie could take? You give yours and I'll give mine. So let's see, what do you got?
Okay, well, you know, your mindset, everybody, it's such a buzzword. It's like, oh, change your mindset, change your life. And it's like, what does that even mean? And it just means looking basically on the bright side of things, looking at the positive instead of the negative. And it's like, it's so easy, but yet so hard to do, especially if you were surrounded by people who are negative. And the first thing to do is find new friends, right? And you know,
find the people that like you.
Find your tribe, and you know that it's going to build you up. And then you start to like, little by little, you're standing stronger, and your chin is higher, and you're kind of like, wow, you know, you kind of have this sense of confidence now. But then you start working on your mind, and it's like, wow, and you're thinking more positively, and you're reading more things that are building you up so you can build others. And so that's where I think it begins.
Okay, and that would be my tip. Get a book.
Yeah.
One book can get you started. You know, my first book was Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich.
Yes, I love it.
Game changer. And then the other thing was, I took a personality test that said I was like a full-on nerd. And I was so always trying to be someone else. And I was like, oh, no wonder I'm failing. You know, I'm a maths person. I'm a problem solver. I have a different skill set. And I was always comparing myself to these beautiful people and going, you know, I'm not quite there. So figure out what your strengths are and just live there.
Yes, right.
Because your strengths, you know, will make your success.
Yeah. And that's a great point, because a lot of times people, they will hear, work on your weaknesses, and that's the worst advice that somebody can give you. Always work from your strength, always work from your genius, and that's what makes you you. And you're gonna find the people that will follow you. And it's like, can you imagine if you didn't work from your strengths? And so that's the one thing. I mean, even Michael.
I did that.
Yeah, Michael Jordan, it was like one of the most famous people in, you know, basketball. And he went to try out. Well, he went to try out for baseball, and he made it in the minor leagues. But his batting average was so low, he made more errors than, you know, in one season. And it's like, that wasn't his strength. So he went back. But, you know, we have to identify and know what we are good at, and just work on those every day.
Yeah, there is a place and there is a group where you win.
Yes.
Where you're with them and you always win, and you always feel good about yourself. And so sometimes it's life's kind of a maze, and you have to go through some dark and scary corners.
Oh, absolutely.
Be left on the playground a few times.
Yes. Yes.
To find out where is that place for me.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you so much. Now, one thought.
Mm-hmm.
What is your nugget, wisdom in life that you want to leave our viewers with?
That nobody can be you. And so many times we're caught in the comparison game, and like you said, and so many times we're just like, oh, you know, I wish I could be her, where it's like, that's your beauty. You are not them. There's somebody that you are you for a reason. There's nobody with the same DNA, nobody with anything else but you. And so that is what is so special about you. And that's what I'm going to leave with you, because so many times people just, what did I say in my training? We're born original and die a copy. So don't do that. And so that's the one nugget I can leave you.
Yeah, originals are priceless.
Yes.
Copies, not so much.
Right.
Absolutely. So thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you. I just love you.